Welcome to the Smart Weight Loss Coaching Podcast. I'm Dr. Lisa Olson, a board-certified weight loss medicine specialist and certified life coach. In this podcast, I'll share fresh insights and effective techniques for incorporating mindset, habit change, and proven science into your life. Are you ready to achieve sustainable weight loss, wellness, and longevity? Then let's jump in and lose weight the smart way. Welcome back. If you're looking to willpower and self-control to help with weight loss, think again. When it comes to eating, our circumstances matter much more than our self-control. Why? Because willpower is a limited resource, as you've heard me say before. None of us have endless willpower. I'm lucky enough to be in weight maintenance for many years now, but I don't think I have more self-control today than I had 15 years ago when I weighed more. I simply have more information about how to set my environment up for success, and I'm going to share some of that info with you. Believe it or not, most people who successfully manage their weight aren't swimming in willpower. We find they simply don't put themselves in as many challenging situations that require willpower. Now, I'm not denying that there are those unicorns out there who can eat anything they want without gaining weight and don't need to tap into self-control. Those people exist, and we hate them. Just kidding. We don't hate them, but we don't necessarily relate to them. I'm not talking about those people today because they're probably not listening to this podcast. I'm talking about average people, regular people with normal metabolism who put in some effort to stay thin. They don't have more willpower than you do. They really don't. But what they do have is a more controlled environment, potentially. Stimulus control is a term that refers to the way you set up your surroundings to increase the odds of your success. You all know I love vanilla ice cream, right? If my freezer is stocked with it, I'm probably going to eat it. It's true that I have a lot of skills and strategies to reduce the likelihood of eating it or to delay the eating of it, but still, at some point, if it's in my freezer, it's going into my mouth. If it's not in my freezer, however, then my environment supports my goal of eating ice cream infrequently. Not that it's forbidden, but I don't want to eat it every night, and I actually don't want to eat it every week. Or should I say I both want to for the party in my mouth and I don't want to because I'm working on maintaining my healthy, happy weight. Rather than ask myself to sit on the struggle bus using willpower and self-control, I simply limit the times that I buy ice cream and have it sitting in my freezer, available. Let's turn to a study that examines one interesting aspect of self-control, specifically the way self-control gets depleted in certain situations. One study on this topic was published by Roy Baumeister in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology. The researchers brought study subjects one at a time into a room and had them take a seat at the table. In the middle of the table, there was a plate of warm, soft, freshly baked chocolate chip cookies. There was also a plate of radishes. Imagine if you were a subject in this study and you took a seat with both plates in front of you. The researcher tells you that you're participating in an experiment about taste perceptions and that you've been assigned to eat the radishes. I just think this study is so mean. The researcher leaves you alone in the room for a few minutes and tells you to go ahead and help yourself to the radishes. You're not supposed to eat the warm, delicious-smelling chocolate chip cookies, which takes a bit of self-control and regulation. But of course you manage because, as my husband would say, you're not a berserker. You manage to stick to the radishes, but note that you've now used up some of your limited supply of self-control or willpower. The researcher returns and removes the food, telling you it's time for the next part of the study. In this one, you'll be asked to solve a puzzle that's unrelated to the first part of the session with the food. The puzzle you're given looks easy enough, but actually, it's unsolvable. Persisting in trying to solve the puzzle takes some discipline, some self-control. Here's what they learned. Participants who had just resisted eating the cookies because they were assigned to eat the radishes, they gave up much sooner on the puzzle because they had used up some of their limited supply of self-control. On the other hand, study participants who were instructed to help themselves to the cookies stuck with the puzzle for much longer, not giving up and persisting for a greater amount of time. You can see that using self-control in the first part of the experiment reduced the subject's ability to exercise self-control with the second task. This happens to us all the time. We have to regulate ourselves in one situation, and then our willpower is depleted for the next one. I have 2 teenagers, so I can certainly think of times when one of them pressed my buttons and I had to dig deep to stay calm. Maybe I decided to hide my exasperation because I knew they were struggling with something. Fast forward to dinner, and I might be vulnerable to ordering French fries instead of a side salad with my meal. That's because I used up my allotment of self-regulation. We can all think of examples like this in our lives. Your boss comes down on you for something outside your control, and you stay calm without getting defensive. Boom, you just expended some willpower. Decision-making is another way we deplete our willpower. Even something as simple as struggling with a decision about what to wear to a friend's wedding might deplete your self-control at the dessert table later that evening. We all have moments in our lives when we're going to be tasked with exercising self-control, leading to depleted willpower. It can't be entirely avoided, but there are ways in which we can help ourselves to reduce that depletion as well as to depend less on willpower. Here are just a few examples to get you brainstorming. Number 1, raise your awareness when you use up some of your willpower. If you've had to self-regulate by passing on donuts that your colleague brought to work, recognize that you'll be vulnerable to eating off track later. You might want to plan the rest of your day with that in mind. It's not a good day to just wing it for dinner. You might need to create some guardrails so you don't impulsively order from Grubhub or hit a drive-thru on your way home. Number 2, creating routines reduces decision fatigue, so consider that for certain meals. For example, if you eat the same breakfast every day, you really don't need to spend any brain power deciding what to eat. Your healthy breakfast is on autopilot. No decision fatigue here, so you don't expend any willpower. Observational data tells us that people who are successful with weight loss and maintenance after losing a lot of weight often eat the same thing for breakfast and lunch nearly every day. Anecdotally, my grandparents did that, and they lived healthy well into their 90s, eating the same breakfast and the same lunch and the same little small bowl of mixed nuts as a small appetizer before dinner each evening. Number 3, create routines around getting to work. For example, you might commute using public transportation. I love this one because where I live, a lot of people have the option to drive or take the train from the northern suburbs near downtown Chicago. When you drive, you have to make a lot of decisions and perhaps exercise some self-control too. You have to check the weather forecast to decide if that changes the time you'll leave. You have to decide which route is the fastest depending on traffic. You have to stay calm and avoid road rage when other people are cutting in front of you or behaving poorly on the highway. You have to decide if you're parking in this parking lot or that one, and so on. If you commute by train every day, on the other hand, your list of decisions and your need for self-control drop precipitously. Now you know which train you take each day and how long it takes to walk to the station. You get off at the same stop each day and you walk to work from there. There's no aggravation related to aggressive or inattentive drivers, and the entire experience may not deplete any of your self-control. Number 4, one last example. You might reduce the need to self-regulate around exercise by creating a routine. If you always take a yoga class at 6 on Thursdays, for example, then you don't have to decide if you're going or not going. And if your friend is counting on you for a ride, you won't negotiate with yourself about it. You'll just go. You don't have to tap into your willpower to go because you've made the commitment in advance and you've created the routine. In this case, you don't negotiate. As you consider your MBA for this week, your next best action, I'd offer you a couple of ideas. You might want to stop beating yourself up for not having more willpower. Remember, nobody has unlimited willpower, and it's normal to find yourself depleted at times. Give yourself grace. Another MBA might be to look for ways to reduce the need for self-control. Surround yourself with fewer tempting foods at home. Reduce aggravations during your workday, or create routines that don't require a lot of willpower depleting decisions. Just pick one of these. I don't want to deplete your willpower by giving you decision fatigue. Actually, I find it kind of hilarious that I just offered you a bunch of NBAs. This is why weight loss isn't easy. There's a lot of information to consider. But the good news is that you're going to do great if you just pick one thing and move forward. I love the option of being kind to yourself and believing that you're not broken. Your willpower is just fine. Go ahead and make self-compassion about willpower today's NBA. I just grabbed that decision for you. You're welcome. Before you go, I have two quick announcements. First, please check out our smartweightlosscoaching.com website if you'd like to learn more about our upcoming Women's Wellness Retreat. The deadline to register is October 18th, 2024, or whenever we fill up. Second announcement, please scroll down to the bottom of the Smart Weight Loss Coaching website and fill out our form, putting the word raffle in the message section. This is how you can enter our raffle for a chance to win a free 12-week membership in our Smart Weight Loss Coaching program. A free 12-week membership to help you lose weight and improve your health. Why wouldn't you enter? We'd love to meet you. Thanks so much for listening. If you'd like more support during your smart weight loss journey, check out our group coaching program at smartweightlosscoaching.com. Until next time, stay well and stay smart.